I live in the jungle. There's just seeds falling on me from the tree. Already 2 spiders have crawled on me. Still certain an alligator's gonna crawl out and eat me. That would go viral, just saying. Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you today about some homeschooling stuff that's been kind of weighing heavy on my mind right now. I know this school year looks totally different for everybody, no matter what it is you're doing, whether or not your kids are going back to school full-time, part-time, if you're distance learning, if you've decided to homeschool them. I think there's some people really rocking it and doing the best they can with the situation, and it's really cool to see. I'm cheering everybody on. I know it's scary when you first start out a new way to school your children. It's really hard, and it's easy to doubt yourself or what you're doing. I thought maybe something that has helped me might help you, regardless, again, of how you school your children. I think this has helped bring some sanity to me. I remember really being focused on schedules, and one of the amazing things that I learned from, I want to say it was Waldorf, was more going with a flow. And all I mean by that, I don't mean, roll with it, go with the flow, who cares, let things be crazy, no. There are days like that, but I think most of us would go crazy with our kids just doing whatever the hell they want. I think from the beginning of us having children, there's that idea that they need to be on a schedule, and to some extent that is helpful for them. But I think to us as adults, a schedule looks like specific times, when to a kid, being on a schedule for them is really just having a flow of the day, knowing what comes next. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm pretty type A. I like things really organized and color-coded, and if I could plan my death, I would. I like things neat and tidy, and I like things organized, and I like worksheets, and really unschooling doesn't line up with who I am as a person. So I'm learning, I'm getting there. I really wanted the school at home vibe, right? I wanted everything scheduled, and there were certain times of day that we did certain things, and there were certain activities and planned lunch schedules, and everything would be wrapped up pretty with a bow. And I think to some extent, maybe if there's one kid you're homeschooling and they're really into that kind of thing, then do it, if that's what works for you guys. It hasn't worked for us. Preston especially is really not into rigid schedules. He likes his freedom. He likes to explore the things that he wants to. And there's 3 kids now, right? And they're all at very different levels. They're into very different things. So when you have less of a schedule and more of just a flow of how things go, it's a lot easier to constantly change and shift with the needs of your children. It's a lot easier to homeschool kids of multiple ages and needs, and to accommodate, visitors that you have coming in, or, when your kids are having a bad day, or they're not feeling great, or they're just not feeling it, and you don't have it in you to fight them. It just makes it a lot easier to give yourself some grace, right? You don't have to be so hard on yourself when you have a flow of how the week is supposed to go. For example, most mornings we start out with, breakfast and reading books, or looking at big picture books like atlases, right? Not like world map atlases, but like the Atlas of Monsters or Pirates or whatever, just more of a picture book, easy read. And we eat breakfast and just kind of snuggle up and read books or look at stuff, just to get kind of going in that direction. One of the days of the week is going to be focused around reading, and that usually entails the library. We'll go to the library, I let them explore, they find whatever books they want, and then we come home and they're excited because they have fresh new books, and we read a lot that day, a ton that day. And most days we're reading, but I have one day a week where that's what I'm focusing on. So I know that no matter what they're doing, that's what I'm going to try and guide them towards throughout the day. Then we have days where we do science experiments, because I don't know about you, but I don't want to do a science experiment every single day. I love science experiments, but they're messy, they take time, I have to get supplies, etc., etc. So usually that's a 1 day a week thing, and then we have days where we want to be outside. So the whole day is about going outside, going on nature walks, talking about bugs, talking about animals, collecting different things that different nuts or seeds or leaves that we find, and then researching details about them when we get home, taking notes, drawing pictures of things that we see. Then we have days where we are hyper focused on math. I'll do a video on unschooling maths at some point, and I'll link to it here when I do. But for us, math looks like going to the grocery store, baking things, playing Minecraft, doing Legos, different things like that. We rarely sit down and just do anything that involves rote memorization or just regurgitating information. I don't feel like they learn when they do that. I know there's some things that is the best way to learn it, but in my experience, when I learn things just through memorization, it doesn't stick. Unless it's, maybe that's because I have a bad memory. But really, out of all the things I had to memorize in school, there's a song about prepositions that Mrs. Richardson taught me that I remember, and that's about it. So, I'm not going to go through every single day, right? Because everybody's looks different. But the idea is that you have one thing you're really focused on for the day, and that's your kind of like Northern Star, right? Your guiding light of what you must get done. And that has made all the difference in our unschooling, because even when you're only focusing on one thing for the day, you still have a million learning opportunities that just pop up, right? Your kids are gonna ask questions. You're gonna be doing things that lead down a rabbit hole of something that they're interested in. So I truly believe that even on the days when you are being lazy and not doing anything, they're still gonna learn. The kids are much more willing to go along with things. And they know that certain days of the week are the day that they get to do, whatever they're super into at the time. Preston's really into math and science. Stevie really likes the more like outside nature days and the artsy stuff. And they know that they have that to look forward to. And I think because of that, they're more easygoing on the days that maybe we're focusing on something that they're not super into. And again, with unschooling for us, if they're just not feeling it for the day, I don't force it. A kid who is not engaged and not into it isn't learning. They may learn enough to pass a test or to get you out of their face, but they're not going to learn the material, I promise you that. If you can be gentle with yourself, obviously if you're working within the school system, you have a set idea of things that you have to do, a quota or a schedule, right? Because there's a teacher and other students and, a schedule that you have to deal with. Because anybody who's at home with kids knows that it's, especially if there's multiple children, it's navigating the personal relationships, right? The fighting, the nagging, the, I'm constantly hungry or I'm bored. There's a million things you have to do just to upkeep the day and keep things flowing. And if you look at yourself maybe more as just controlling the flow of the day instead of holding a very rigid schedule, it just makes everything go better. And I promise you, even in those moments where you're like, my kid's not learning anything, they're doing nothing, they're just, being a stubborn weirdo and playing with Legos for too long or whatever. I promise you they're learning. I promise. Trust them, trust yourself. And really, I think, especially as you're starting out, you'll find your groove in whatever it is that you're doing, but start out slow, go easy on yourself. There's plenty of hours in every day for them to learn. It doesn't have to look like school at home. It doesn't have to be, 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 or whatever it was for them previously. Make it work for you guys. And this is already such a stressful time. Try your best not to put so much pressure on you or your kids. People don't learn when they're stressed out or scared. So I would strongly recommend trying to find a flow that works for you. And if, everybody's situation looks different right now, right? If you are stuck in a situation where you have to follow the school's guidelines, maybe you'll slowly realize that there's something else that works for you guys and you're going to go a different route. But I'm seeing a lot of really stressed out parents and stressed out kids, and it just makes me sad. It's nobody's fault. It is what it is right now. And I just thought maybe that I could offer a little bit of advice that would help. If there's anything I can help with, if there's anything that, worries you or you think you can't make work for you, let me know. I'm all ears. I really want to be a source for parents that are struggling through this right now. I've been there. I've not in exactly the same way, right? But I've been there where I thought, man, I can't do this, or I can't get my kids to do what I need them to do, or they're not learning, or I made a mistake, I shouldn't be doing this, or, whatever. We all doubt ourselves. We all have moments where we're worried about where our kids are at developmentally or, intellectually. Are they learning all the things they're supposed to, or are they being challenged enough, or whatever, right? It looks different for all of us, but yeah, just wanted to provide some thoughts there and some encouragement. I know this is a super weird time for everybody as far as school goes, but you got this. You do. You are the best teacher for your child. I promise you that. You know them better than anybody. And maybe if you've lost touch with them because they've been in school nonstop, now is your time to get to know them better than anybody, right? And learn how they learn things. And you get to learn stuff too. Because I don't know about you, but I've forgotten a lot from school. So Try to have fun with it, make the best of it, and truly, really, truly, I am here if you have any questions. I have navigated some really tough situations, and my kids are still relatively young, but I had a very different idea of what homeschooling would look like for us than where we're at now, and I couldn't be happier with the direction it went. And I wish I had had someone in my ear saying, hey girlfriend, you don't have to do it that way. Stop stressing yourself out. I ended many days crying. And so did Preston when, we didn't need to. So if you can, try and go more with just basic plans for the day, a flow, not a rigid schedule, and see if that helps maybe ease a little bit of the stress that a lot of you seem to be feeling starting this new school year. So again, always here. Thanks for watching these videos. I know it's a little different than our regular content. Please hit the like button if this was helpful. Reach out if you have any questions. Hit that subscribe button for videos on unschooling, living a simple life, and stuff on our schoolie. Thanks, guys.
What are these?
The weirdo mom in the corner of a park making a YouTube video.